Good morning to you. Thanks for clicking on to the UK Europe video blog for today, the 11th of October. And we certainly have and continue to see a north-south divide across the continent, basically, where autumn is in full swing across Scotland, through Scandinavia and into portions of northwestern Russia. We continue to see summer-like conditions, terrific warm weather, settled weather across the Iberian Peninsula through Italy. And then once you get farther east into the eastern Mediterranean, southeast Europe, you've got a pretty messy, squally area of weather. But certainly we've got a pretty unsettled pattern across a large portion of the continent. And I'm going to continue to, I'm going to show you basically the current satellite image of the University of Cologne website. Let me just grab a pen here. I'm going to show you folks here. You can see a very, very large, massive cloud covering a large section of the continent. And basically there's a divide right here between two air masses. North of this line, you've got a pretty cool, breezy, unsettled, very unsettled pattern across a large portion of Scotland, through Scandinavia, and even into northwestern Russia. We've got a pretty substantial storm system right here. You can see here the swirl of cloud, and a frontal system draped down into portions of southeastern Europe. So a very unsettled, chilly, windy pattern across portions of the eastern part of the continent. And you can see here this band of cloud right here. This is a boundary that's been pretty stationary over the past couple of days, producing wind, rain, very cloudy conditions. To the north of that, cooler air coming in from the northwest across Scotland. We've got a wee bit of sunshine today, so it's not too bad really. And further south of this line, down across southern portions of the UK, we've seen temperatures up around 20, 21 Celsius, but very cloudy at the same time, but certainly not feeling October-like across the southern half of the UK. So you've got the band of rain, wind here across the central portion of the UK, cooler to the north, warmer to the south, and you can see here a large mass of cloud, but temperatures certainly not too bad. You've got a flow out of the southwest across France, and it's certainly pretty decent conditions in terms of the temperature anyway over France. Looking further south, you can see here the clear skies, high pressure and control, temperatures well into the 20s, even low 30s down across southern portions of Spain, but certainly feeling summer-like here, folks. Even around Madrid here in central Spain, temperatures are around 30 Celsius. That's summer-like conditions. Across the western portion of the Mediterranean through Italy as well, you've got very warm conditions, temperatures again near 30 degrees. So a very, very different contrast. North cool, very warm, sunny in the south portion of Europe. Looking across the upper level pattern across Europe, this is the current map for today. You can see here, folks, the depiction, high pressure, warmer air mass. That's that boundary across central UK that I was talking about. The cooler, more autumnal air over Scotland through Scandinavia, and very cold temperatures across central Greenland. I've seen a report of minus 41 Celsius, minus 42 in Fahrenheit over central Greenland. And in the coming days that's going to expand. It's going to bleed into Scandinavia and down into the eastern portion of Europe. I'm going to look ahead, skip through to Thursday. You can see what I'm talking about. The cold air expanding, breaking away from Greenland westwards and eastwards. There's a trough trying to build over the North Atlantic. And that's going to start setting sights on the UK by late weekend and into next week. But look at here, folks. This is the cold air that was over Greenland. Now starting to get into the trough. There's a very strong northwest flow trying to push that cold air into eastern portions of Europe. At the same time, you can see here the ridge trying to build up across the west of the UK. So milder air trying to push into Iceland and places like that. And that ridge, folks, is actually pumping up and really it's actually forcing the trough to then deepen over eastern portions of Europe. Let's skip ahead to Saturday, and you can see here the trough. That trough starting to expand and build. You can see it there. It's starting to push southwards. It's also pumping the ridge over the UK. So milder air over the weekend. We're going to be seeing temperatures back up there in 16 in Scotland, perhaps even the low 20s again across the south of the UK, and very warm air you can see here across Spain and Portugal. Temperatures probably into the low 30s. So very, very warm air for this time of year across Spain through France. Temperatures maybe up to around 23, 24 in Paris, and of course across the UK milder air gets pushed up. It's deepening this trough. It's actually forcing the cold air here eastwards. That trough is breaking the cold air to the north and forcing it into the trough. So we could be seeing temperatures across Moscow, Kiev, down into Bucharest. Temperatures that are well below normal. Could be seeing the first snowflakes across Moscow in the coming days, and a very, very chilly air mass now getting pushed in towards western Russia. Looking ahead at Monday of next week, there's the trough. It's now kicking the ridge towards the east. So places that that were slightly cooler now starting to feel the warmth of that ridge, that trough. Look at the cold air, folks, starting to bleed into Iceland. So the first taste of winter could be certainly upon people in Iceland by next Monday, and the cooler air now trying to filter into the UK. So gone are the low 20s across London, gone are the 16, 17 Celsius across Scotland. We're going to be seeing temperatures struggling to get the 5 or 6 degrees in Glasgow, I believe. Temperatures perhaps struggling to get to 10 degrees in places like London. So the autumn weather is certainly upon us. You can see that trough now starting to slide east. And what we're going to be seeing in the mid part of next week is a ridge then building across the Atlantic, and it's going to then slide into the UK. So it's going to kick out that autumn weather. But certainly, folks, by early next week, we could be seeing the first taste of snowfall. The hills north of Glasgow might even see a wee touch of snow, but certainly not down to low levels. I don't believe we're going to be seeing snow down towards the lower levels of the central belt of Scotland. But certainly it's going to feel winter-like by around late Sunday into Monday, if this model is correct. And it certainly looks as if the eastern portion of Europe going to get a real taste of winter-like air as a cold core starts to split from Greenland, the ridge trying to really push northward. And what that's going to do is it's going to shove some of that cold air through Scandinavia and down into Eastern Europe. So a milder week for the UK. We're going to be seeing highs into the 15, 16 Celsius range across Scotland. Continued warm across the south of the UK, and then by later in the weekend and next week we're going to get a real push of chilly air before it eventually gets kicked out as well. So we're going to see an up and down pattern temperatures, but it's going to remain very unsettled as well. So a pretty turbulent next 10 days ahead for the UK, but stay right